Hello guys, you do not need to do a 34-hour reset in trucking. I'll show you how. Hey guys, I'm Eddie V. Welcome to the channel. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, click the notification bell, that way you don't miss any of my videos whenever I post them. Today's video, we're going to be talking about if you have e-logs or paper logs, that you do not have to do a 34-hour reset in trucking. You basically can never run out of hours if you do the method that I do in trucking, and I can go 3-4 weeks out on the road. That's my choice, you know. Sometimes I come home 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. It just depends on my mood. But you can go up to 4 weeks on the road trucking and never have to do a single 34-hour reset. And I'm going to show you guys an easy way of how to do that. Now, on paper logs, I can't help you. I used to do paper logs when I ran glider trucks on a different company, but I'm going to show you the e-logs, and then I'll explain in basically in my own words how to do it on paper logs. Alright guys, here's my iPad with the ELD, the logbook here. So as you can see, I got 8 hours until break. I'm actually in sleeper berth. I'm doing sleeper berth right now. I got 4 hours 26 minutes left driving, 4 hours 56 minutes left on the 14-hour window, 11 hours 4 minutes left on the 70-hour duty cycle clock. Now guys, I could have drove farther today, but I didn't, because I'm conserving my hours and spreading it apart. That way I still have recap hours. So let me tell you what recap is. Right here, it's the hours you regain. Look right here, as you can see, these are the shifts I worked past, okay? And 17 hours 51 minutes I'm gonna have available tomorrow instead of the 11. So let me show you view cycle hours. As you can see, this is where we're getting them. I said we had 11 hours today left in the clock. We're getting those 6 hours left that we worked 8 days ago, 6 hours 46 minutes to make it to 17 hours 51 minutes. Now, this clock will change the more you work. So let's say I worked another hour. Instead of 17 hours 51 minutes left the next day, after midnight I'm gonna have 16 hours 51 minutes left. So guys, how does this work? If you use the 70-hour rule, 8-day 70-hour rule for your logbook, USA, not Canada, you basically can never take a restart, never take a 34-hour restart. If you use recap, which it does it automatically for you, if you work no more than 70 hours in the past 8 days. This will automatically give you a detail, or automatically give you hours, so you never have to worry about, but you still have to monitor to see to make sure you're not going to run out of hours. Let me give you an example. So guys, I'm going to give you an example. If you do local or more regional and you have 8-hour shifts, like one time I did a whole bunch of oversized loads that week. I did 8 hours, and I did 6 hours that day, or 5 hours that day. I basically spread my clock across the whole 8 days. By the time I hit the 8th day, I actually had still hours left over from my previous 8 days, 10 hours, and then when I use recap, it turned like 17 or 18 hours. That's because I spread out my clock, okay? If you use time management correctly, either on paper logs or an ELD, you don't ever need to take a 34-hour reset. You can just run on recap. You can just, as long as you don't go over 70 hours in 8 days, in the past 8 days, you'll always have, on the 9th day, you'll have hours that you worked on your first day. That's how it works. So if you're running paper logs on a glider truck, or on a truck with a motor that's or old motor or old truck pre-2000, what you want to gonna do is go through your sheets, count the hours up in the last 8 days, and then deduct that from 70, and I'll tell you how much hours you got for the next day. That's what I used to do when I ran recap hours. Now, this does not work if you work hard every day. If you work hard every day, 11-hour driving shifts almost, and you put in about hour and something, 2 hours of on-duty time, even maybe 1 hour on-duty time, and let's say you work basically 12 hours a day, you'd be out of hours pretty much on your 5th day, and your 6th day you're not going to have any. I almost ran out of hours one time working about 4.5 days. So if you don't spread around your clock, you will not be able to hit the 8th day and have recap hours on the 9th day, you're gonna run out of clock. So basically, if when you're driving, guys, you got to play it by ear. Hopefully you guys can make it work to where you can make your deliveries and spread your hours and clocks on time. Now, if you could be running recap hours, always tell you, dispatch, I have so and so hours left before I'm out of hours. Don't give me a load today, give it to me tomorrow. That way I can work a few hours tomorrow, and then when I hit recap, I actually have hours. That's basically what I did, guys. So I had about 24 hours left on the clock when I was coming to Louisiana. I stopped after working 6 hours. After midnight, I worked the next day. I had about, I want to say, 13 hours left when I finished with all of my deliveries. Dispatch gave me a load the next day. I worked only about 4 hours. I had 8 hours left, or well, actually I worked about 5 hours, so I had 8 hours left on my clock. And that 8 hours plus pretty much the 9 hours and something minutes I worked 8 days ago got added the next day, and I ended up with a whole bunch of hours. That's how I run recap, guys, and I know you guys can run recap too. Just got to play smart and make good decisions while driving and spreading out. Not always will you make more money by just keep on simply driving straight every day. Now, if your mileage, that's a different story, but if you're running by the load, you got to choose your loads properly. That way you can still maximize how much money you make in your week if you choose the right loads. Now, if you choose big loads that run from coast to coast, you're gonna run out of hours pretty quick, and you will probably have to take a 34-hour reset. But I've been doing this method for quite a bit now. For the past 3 trips, I have not taken a 34-hour reset. I've been running through the weekends just by spreading my hours around properly and not needing to take a reset and just working on recap until I get home. And that's my 34-hour reset then. All right, guys, thank you for watching this video. Hopefully you found it useful. If you have any questions, comment down below. If I may have messed up on how recap is used, just comment down below, and I'll see you next time. Guys, I'm Eddie B. 2004 turn right. This particular package, driving a temp in the 6 Series.